Alright, but the recording is now up, which means this is your host, Spell, and welcome back to Potionomics. In the last episode, we beat Boss Finn, and we found a great money-making tactic, and we've also progressed a lot of friendships along the way, but really that progressing the friendship along the way thing has been going on every episode, so I don't know if I need to say that every time, but I will. So, we're starting off with an increase in affluent customer. Okay, drops, Arctic ingredients drop, cost more, that's not fun. None of that is fun. What do you mean I have nothing brewing? I probably took it all. Oh gosh, past Q. What? Oh wait, that's brewing. What? Why is only a little bit brewing? I didn't run out of things, did I? Past Q, what were you doing? Alright, well here's a superior tolerance potion. So now we have one of those for the competition. And let's see, superior silence cure. So now we have one of those for the competition. Oh boy. Otherwise, we still need to make ourselves a superior insight enhancer. Well, how do I make one of those? Where is the superior insight enhancer? Aha! So for this one, we need a lot of red, a little bit more of green, and yes, that dreaded purple is back. Okay, luckily I've prepared for the purple. I believe I have prepared for the purple. Please do not kill me, purple. Okay, so we need to make ourselves... Okay, no, that's got blue. That's got blue. 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 Yellow. Okay. Hey, these can work. Let's just throw in a couple of those for whatevers. I can make potions. I just throw whatever in and it all works. What if I just throw in like 5 of these? Let me switch over to green. Why does everything good I have blue? Okay. Then we got that. And haha! That's terrible! What was I thinking? This is awful. Get out of here. Everything gets out. Okay, let's think about this a little bit better, shall we? Because we not only need to worry about, like, getting the right ratio, we need to stuff this thing with Magimins. And I mean, like, a lot of Magimins. Okay, so let's start with how much does this do? This. Okay, this has blue, but what if I don't care? Uh-huh. And now we throw in more spiders. Because my customers love it when I throw in spiders. Don't ask me. I apparently just know these things. Okay, now I need a lot of green without any questions. Boom! Let's see. What do I have that's red, though? Do I got any pure red around here? What do you mean you're out of management? What do you mean you can't do no more? That's quitter talk. There. Now we have 4-star instead of that 1-star I was working with earlier. A brimming glass of spiders. Exactly. And you know what? Boom. Throwing that in there too, just to get this. Actually, that wouldn't do anything, would it? I mean, it might make it smell nice. With everything else terrible I'm doing to this potion, it might as well smell nice. Okay, let's throw some logs under here. Bop, bop, and biggity. Nope, not enough. Bop. There we go. A couple of thunder logs and a mushroom. And in you go. You'll be ready in a couple hours. Now let's actually make some money makers for the time being. So, shelled puddings. Does this make ice? Oh, it's so wonderful when it does that. And it makes a superior ice tonic. That is perfection. Oh, you're cooking with you today. I'm gonna stop doing that. Let's see. Oh, that's good enough for me. Throw it in. Alright. What if I do another batch of that, though? Sure would be a shame if I just broke the economy. What's better than superior masterwork? Alright. Ooh, I got tons of daredevil peppers, which give me my favorite thunder tonics. Run out of the good stuff, though. Okay. And we could probably make some fire tonics, too, can't we? Heck yeah, we can! So if I throw in one of those, and one of those, and one of those, and we're all good. This is gonna be my cactus fire potion. Okay, now everything will be done eventually. Sure, why not? Cactuar sacrifice to the flames. Yes! 1,000 needles for the brew! Okay, and now I can collect my things. Okay, so now that that's done, well, we throw in, you know, the same exact thing we've been throwing in all the time, because this is better. I mean, this is just the best thing ever, and if anyone says otherwise, they're wrong! Where's my spiders? Where's my spider? Eat a spider. My customers love spiders. So here for you. Here for you. You can have this. What is this? I don't know. You can have it. Perfect. You could probably use something purpley, can't you? I guess this works. Alright, so we got a whole bunch of things brewing that will be all better in a little bit. So why don't we get one batch of sales going on, and then we... Well... Yeah, then we can just sell things. Wait. Oh, hold the phone. Hold the phoneage. Custom orders. We can finish off Baptiste. Here's your superior health potion. Don't, Baptiste, I hope you don't mind that it tastes terrible, makes you feel terrible, and smells terrible. But good to know, it sounds pretty good, don't it? And this one just makes you feel terrible. Good? He loves it. Glad that's out of the way. Now, on to making money. Oh, look at all that cash we could get. Okay, we're gonna save the game in case something goes terribly wrong. And now it's time for some sales. So what you got, good sirs? I'm very curious what you're gonna be throwing at me today. I think you'll like this. So what's the squirrel do again? What's the squirrel? Oh, you want a special cure? Oh, that's... Get out of my shop. Buy something and then leave. Alright. Let's start with improv. Oh, the ferocity of the squirrel. It allows you to... Oh, gosh. I got everything except for what I wanted. Oh, well. Chorus. Every single time you play a card... You gain 2 interest. Okay, so what if we rhythm? I could take the hit, but I don't want to take a hit. Unless I can shield it. And now we'll end the turn. That was a lucky shield draw right there. Okay, but now we play Bravado. Craftsmanship. Oh, should have played Salt and Pepper first. Okay, I'm going to not, and I don't want to take 6 damage. Goodbye. The animations are so clean. They are very nice. They don't flow into one another too well. Like, you can see the snapping, but at the same time, they're pretty good. Why do you want to hurt me? Why do you want to make me cry? Because this is a passionate professional. Fair enough. Is it? Okay, if you're just gonna make me lose that, we're gonna play Ferocity of the Squirrel, finally, and then Prepped Rhythm, and end the turn. Alright, now everything is going to cost less. See how it all comes together? Yoink! It all just works out so nicely when all of my cards cost basically nothing. Get out of here with that! Stop asking me for things. You buy what's on the shelf, or you leave. Hoping for that closer. Yep. Alright, so that was actually a really good round. We didn't sell too many, I don't think. Nah, we still have 4 potions left over. But hey, that was everything we needed to start brewing. So our superior fire tonic is now a masterwork fire tonic. I like the spikes. I don't know why. I keep wanting to call this a Bowser potion. Then we got ourselves a masterwork thunder tonic. Masterwork ice tonic. Here is our superior insight enhancer. Gosh, you're not fun to look at. And masterwork ice tonics. Yes. So, let's see what we can brew easily, and then what we have left over. We can make another batch of Ogre Shadow. Okay, we don't need it for the rest of the day, so... Can I get this down to 6? That works. And I've got some more peppers ready, don't I? Yes, I do. I can even make 2 batches of this. Nope, need 1 more. Now then. This game can become addicting. It can be. It's very stressful for a lot of people, though. Do be careful if you want to jump into it. I say it's definitely worth it, but I've had a lot of people get stressed out about this game. So, throwing that in there. You don't need them for tomorrow. Shouldn't you be aiming for 8? No. See, this is 1, then 2, 3, 4, and then overnight is 5 and 6, and then we're on this one. So I need it to be at, like, I can only have it up to 6 or I won't be able to pull it out in the morning. Okay, don't have enough. Do I have any of those, shelled puddings or whatnot? No, not enough. Oh, I got these things now! Super duper mana potions. They're the super de duperdest. still need to do Mint's thing? Okay, just FYI, this right here are the 2 speed potions for Mint. The thing is, when we originally brewed them, we had no, we had no fuel. That's it. So it took 17 hours. Yeah, 17. We've been waiting for 2 days, and they're still not done. That's how important fuel is. Alright, let's travel. We're gonna meet all of our heroes. So let's start with Corsac. Ironic that speed potions take forever to brew. It is! Ooh, we got more dragon logs. Scaly wood. Magma beetles, those are awkward. That's a lot of Magimans. Alright, you have earned your fungus. Where's my fungus that I'm going to give you? Here you go. And you're gonna go back to the Dragon Oasis. Try not to die. Time for Zid to give me my things. 10 of those. That's pretty nice. You even found some bugs. Alright, back to the crater for you. You can't even kill anything. Then Mint. Hey, it's the Yeti pelt. I think we needed that. Okay, we need to give you your slime. And despite you not wearing much, you're going back to the Arctic. Have fun! And I just realized we never did our cat box. How terrible of me to not start the day with the cat box that we love the most. Here's your fish. Rose, a dragon tier. These are nice. All right, off to Baptiste. And you give me tons of things, yes. For your hard work, gentlemen, here's your bramble rose. Peppers. These aren't that cheap, or these aren't that expensive. And I don't know if we have these, so we'll take 4. Did we beat the goth kid yet? You mean Anubia? No, we have not beaten her. We're still 6 days out from that. Alright, Roxanne, are you ready for your gem? She's still flooding the market with shadow clones. It's true. It's very true. Okay, what marketing do you got for us? Increase the base. Ooh. We could have ice tonics be very valuable tomorrow. I think I will take that. Here's a fruit. Up to Saffron, who will be getting her usual plant. Let's see. Do I have a plant? Here's one. And carpentry. I can make the final shelf. I do believe the shop is now max upgraded. Could be wrong, but I think it is. So huzzah! Oh, we can rank up Muktuk. Why not? Here we are, Sylvia, where we belong, on the cutting edge. The guild has recently debuted an entirely new art form. It is daring, it is immersive, it is karaoke! And I should like to try it. Sylvia isn't sure what to expect. She settles into her seat while the guild's own bard kicks things off. The bard has a beautiful voice, intimidatingly so. If her performance is meant to encourage the audience to step up and sing, it has the opposite effect on Sylvia. Muktuk shows no such reservations. As soon as the bard has finished, he's on his feet, downing his ale and bounding toward the stage. Muktuk belts out an utterly depressing song about loss, loneliness, and failure. Sylvia notes he doesn't need the microphone. And he certainly has the crowd's attention. All the chatter around the guild hall comes to a stop. He's not good exactly, but he pours so much emotion into the song, it's impossible to look away. Ah, that was invigorating! Good job, but are you okay? Of course. Why, were my warbles not to your liking? It's more of the choice of song, and I'm pretty sure you were crying through the third verse. Ah, please, do not take my song selection too seriously. I did not choose it for the lyrics, dear Sylvia, but for the pitch. Muktuk's vocal range lies somewhere below bass. I am a happy walrus. I have much to be grateful for, although there is, I confess, a well of sadness within me. I tap it from time to time as fuel for art. Of late, despite all that is good in this life, I find that well is growing. Is it something I can help with? It is good of you to ask, and yet your kindness, it deepens my shame. For I have not been entirely honest with you, Sylvia. I told you that the ancestors, they have been quiet, but in truth they have been utterly silent. To have been on my pilgrimage for so long and heard nothing? It is worrying, Sylvia, deeply so. I strive to be deserving of the ancestors' guidance. I push myself to my limits until my muscles ache. Yet they remain silent. And so, naturally, I wonder, is the problem with Muktuk? Is Muktuk not not worthy of their wisdom? I believe in you no matter what, and I'm sure you'll find the inspiration you need to create your masterpiece. Your faith is a kindness, one I do not take for granted. Yet it is my faith that is in question. What if... I can hardly bring myself to say it, but say it I must. What if there are no ancestors? What if those who claim to have heard them were untruthful? What if I'm only the butt of some grand joke? It's only natural to have some moments of doubts. But you shouldn't doubt what you've accomplished. You're so talented, Muktuk. Your upgrades have demonstrably improved my life. As ever, you humble me. And it is very persuasive to focus on the artistry. If you were selling me my own cauldrons, I would buy! Artistry! Raise interest by 10, increase price of potion by 5%. This is basically craftsmanship. Another card of it, but in one card instead. Like you would have okay, craftsmanship is 1 for 5 and 3%, while this is 2 for 10 and 5%, which that's negligible, really. This is a good card. However, due to the fact that we are playing a rhythm-based deck, this will still cost 1 instead of 0, instead of craftsmanship. So while it is still a really good card I can recommend in most people's decks, we're not going to be using it ourselves because it doesn't mesh with our strategy. But again, it's really good if you want to use it. There, see? You get where I'm coming from. There are things I do well, and it is good of you to remind me. But I have grander ambitions. Fear not, however, I shall not allow myself to become mired in self-pity. For wallowing is the ultimate self-indulgence, and I do not have time to waste. Muktuk is being too hard on himself. He needs to see that he's already accomplished great things. Maybe I can help with that. And we need an insight enhancer. This is something we just made for the competition, so we have one. And alertness enhancer. Okay, so we're going to need to make an alertness enhancer next time. Otherwise, let's craft something from Muktuk, because there is something new that we can make. We can make aging barrels, and I'm tempted to do such a thing. You know what? I will. We made 2 aging barrels that will help us out in the competition. We can use it for things besides the competition, but that's the main use of it. Alright, time to expand Quinn's shop, because we got a bunch of new things today. It's good to see you, Sylvia. Quinn, that was downright warm. I've been practicing. The more outwardly affectionate I am, the less suspicious I look when your body turns up. You know what? I'll take it. You're still warmer and fuzzier than the owl. Oh, you think I could pin it on him? I don't know, he has a way of getting out of trouble. Funny you should mention trouble. I've got an important errand to run, and I could use a lookout. Here, I'll sweeten the deal. And we get the second coupon from Quinn. Payment up front. I guess I'm in. It's not bad having a henchman. Friend, I meant to say friend, obviously. Okay, nice and easy. You see anyone coming? You just make a sound like a spotted spit monk. A spit monk? I'm not gonna ask. That's in your vocal range, yeah? A spotted what now? Quinn doesn't bother to explain further. Stepping right onto the lawn of a nearby house, Quinn creeps toward a ceramic gnome that stands in the grass. Sylvia is certain Quinn intends to steal the garden gnome. Quinn does in fact lift the gnome, but then places it back down again. What was that? Why'd you place it back down in the same spot? Not the same spot. I moved it precisely an inch. I do this every day, 1 inch at a time. I think the owner has probably started to notice, if only subconsciously. They'll wonder if it's moved, and they'll think, nah, that's impossible. But then they'll wonder, they'll doubt. Their sanity will be eroded an inch at a time. That is wicked. You must have a very interesting childhood. Yeah, not really. I spent most of it locked in a tower. Sorry, what? As a kid, my parents locked me up. I was in a tower for a long time. You were locked up? Like a prisoner? Well, there were bars on the window. But I was more of a test subject than a prisoner. Quinn, that's terrible. It is what it is. Eventually I got out. Got away. It's all good. I hope you punched them on the way out. I didn't. I only had time to punch them or start a fire. And I chose the fire. Oh, good call. It definitely messed up their fancy vineyard. A vineyard? Like for grapes? It's how they made their fortune. Growing jalapeno grigio grapes for this awful spicy wine. Sounds gross. Surprise, people are dumb. I don't even know why I'm telling you all this. And if you tell anyone about it, it'll go badly for you. I won't tell a soul, but I'm glad you told me. If you ever want to talk, I'm here. And if you ever don't want to talk, well, I'm here in that case too. That's cool of you, Sylvia. I almost feel bad now for moving your chair a little bit every day. And we've hung out with Quinn we've given gifts to Quinn so much and haven't hung out with them that we can rank up immediately. So what's new? Feh. Uh-oh, Quinn's finally gone feral. You're not far off. You want to talk about it? Haha, nope. You do know how to shut down a conversation. I love the smile on her face when she says that. All part of the hustle, Sylvia. Gotta know when to put your foot down. And we get hustle. Raise interest by 8. Close sale. If interest is maxed by this card, increase the final price of the potion by 15%. So yeah, if this is the grand finale card that you play, it will increase it by 15% on top of being a closer, which increases it by 5%. The problem is that 8 interest isn't a lot, and your other cards that, like, it would be better to use, like, Muktuk's raise interest by 20 closer kind of thing. I don't hate this card. It is just a win more card. I have hustle. I do. Let's put your skills to use, shall we? Boxer's breath is terrible today. He's overdue for a teeth cleaning, and that's a 2-person job. Quinn shows Sylvia the ropes, brushing Boxer's front teeth with a small, fine brush. Boxer squirms a bit, but is generally pretty well behaved. Despite their insistence on it being a job for two, Quinn has only one toothbrush. Kinda looks like you got this. Easy, right? Now you try. I'm just gonna need you to get the molars. The molars? Like, all the way in the back? I'll keep him calm. It'll be fine. Sylvia accepts the toothbrush reluctantly. Quinn coaxes Boxer to open up, and Sylvia is confronted with row after row of razor-sharp teeth. Oh god. Who here would actually brush the teeth of a mimic? The teeth in the back aren't really molars. They're more like rear fangs. Just get a move on, Sylvia. He won't hold this pose forever. Sylvia takes a steadying breath. She reaches in slowly. She's ready to snap her hand back at the first sign of trouble. But Quinn coos and cuddles Boxer, keeping the mimic calm and still while Sylvia brushes each tooth. I was half expecting you to pull a prank. Too risky. Once Boxer tastes human blood, he's hyper for hours. Plus, then he'd have rotting meat in his teeth, which smells, thereby defeating the whole purpose. Also, you wouldn't want him to maim me. Also that. As distractions go, it was a good one, but not quite good enough. I should know better than to push you, but... You're sure you don't want to talk about whatever's eating you? You're like Boxer with a bone. Persistent. And drooly. And you're stalling. Ugh, fine. I'll talk. It's not even a big deal. Lately I've been trying to get a better handle on my powers. I'm thinking I could maybe steer them in a specific direction. Like, if I wanted to see certain people in particular. People I had a connection to. Even at a great distance. I feel like that's something I should be able to figure out. I can see how that would be good for business. Yeah, sure. But I was also thinking I could find out what my parents are up to. It's a dumb idea, I know. It's a good idea. Seeing them might give you some closure. It's a moot point. I can't seem to zero in on them. That squid vine I ate just showed me some random mer person. Then I started getting all these visions of you or else random heroes. Funny, in some ways my powers being useless is the best revenge. What was the deal with your parents and your powers? I was the first witch in the family to have any sort of mental magic. Nobody was sure what to make of it. I'd have these fits as a kid, I'd sort of check out mentally. And when I came back to myself again, I know all sorts of weird stuff. Stuff about our neighbors, or the mail person, or the guy my mother was seeing on the side. Oh! Freaked me out. My parents, though, they only heard the clinking of coins. Blackmail, industrial espionage, political spycraft. They had all sorts of ideas. But I couldn't control my abilities well enough. I still can't. My guess is I'll get a glimpse of them when I least expect it. That's just how it seems to work. That sounds pretty nerve-wracking. It's not ideal, but what is? At least I'm not alone with it. Aww. I was talking about Boxer, obviously. Sure you were. You know what? I think you might need to brush his tongue next. I'll just loom in behind you and supervise. Quinn's given up on focusing their powers, but there must be a potion that could help. And if we use another one of our mana potions and a sight enhancer, we can help Quinn out. Alright. So we're going to give Quinn a sack of slime. I don't believe we gave Muktuk a gift. We were able to rank him up immediately, so I didn't So I didn't give him a gift. That's gonna be it for that day. You bought the ingredients and logs you wanted, right? Whoops. We have enough logs for at least one more day. But don't worry, I did buy the aging barrels, which is what I wanted the most of. Uh-oh, I know that face. Either you just swallowed a mouse, or you're about to blurt out another confession. In truth, I do have a, well, confession is too strong of a word, and listen, just remember that you've already forgiven me, so you can't get mad, and that's not how forgiveness works, Oswald. Hear me out now. Can you do that for me? I need you to know the whole story. As I told you before, my own hubris is to blame for my current feathery condition. With my prowess for potions, I was confident that I could be the first to make it to Maven's abandoned castle and live to tell the tale. And I was right! I simply didn't foresee all the complications. Complications is one way of putting it. Let me finish, would you? Naturally, I was desperate to find a cure. Upon returning home, I set myself to finding one. As I pored over every text I could find on the subject, all other concerns were forgotten. I spared not a thought for my business, my customers, or my debt. Then Helene came poking around, appraising the place. She thought I was just some bird. I realized then she couldn't sense me with her magic. My transformation has broken that infernal soul binding of hers. And I suddenly felt no great rush for a cure. But there is a cure. A potion, in fact. There is? What? That's great news. What do we need to make this cure? Well, that's the rub. I found... Excuse me. Let me take a quick drink. I gotta stay hydrated for this stuff. Especially after a workday. Well, that's the rub. I found the formula in Maven's own journals, and it requires an exceedingly rare ingredient, one she herself cultivated in her castle laboratory. It's known as Maven Bloom. For years, this ingredient was thought lost to history, but shortly before your arrival here, members of the Heroes Guild found a single sample locked away in her castle. They brought it back. It now sits within the guild hall's vaults, and there it shall remain. Until the day it is awarded to the potion maker who wins the 5th and final competition. Wait. The ingredient you need can only be obtained by winning this competition circuit? The very circuit that you insisted was my only shot at saving myself from the debt you saddled me with? Oswald! Did you manipulate me into getting that ingredient for you? No! A little. It's a happy coincidence! The competition is the best way for you to make the money you need. And hasn't it been working out so far? I only neglected to mention that I had a second reason for ushering you in that direction. Unbelievable. Alright, well, it's not as if I have another option here. But I'm warning you, no more secrets. You need to be on your best behavior. Or else I might just use that Maven Bloom to make delicious soup. You wouldn't! Try me. See what happens. Humph! Also, you should know that I ate the last cookie. Well, now he's definitely getting cooked. Okay, today we have an increase in customers, an increase... What is this going to do? Sorry, I'm reading the Dragon's Horde increased value for ice tonics. And then I also activated increased value for ice tonics. Obviously, yeah, ice tonic day, yep. So how much are they worth at this moment? Holy crap. Yeah, cha-ching. Okay, so here's an insight enhancer for the competition. Here is a tolerance potion for the competition. And here is the silence potion for the competition. Now, before Ice Tonic Day, we're going to quickly take a look at a few things. First off, our custom orders. No, we can't do anything with that for right now. Let us brew. We need to grab the ice tonic alone should cover the debt. Keep in mind, we currently need 500,000 gold. Actually, more. Thunder tonics. Here is the speed potions that we made. We even made masterwork speed potions. Masterwork mana potion. And a masterwork mana potion. Okay, so let's again go to the front. Custom orders, we can turn in mints. Should we barrel our contest potions? We shall. We're going to do that by going into customization. And going into the basement. And throwing down our scaly wood barrels. So inside these barrels, the way these work is that they take 1 day to age. And there's no way to speed it up. So we're going to be using these insight enhancers. And we can't... Now, as you can see... it can hold up to 5... But at the same time... Oh, what's the words I want to use? It cannot be different potions. So even though there's another room for it, you can't just be like, go! Nope, that don't work. There's no mixing potions for these. Okay, so that will take 6 hours. And then another one was the silence. So now 2 of the potions are currently in the works. I'm going to go to the garden real fast. let's see what we can also craft here. Because now we have these. So bam, and bam. I have enough for a batch of that. These are this. Do I have anything good from the purple department? Still nothing amazing, it seems. I'm gonna throw this in there, though. This. Yeah, I'm not gonna find a good use for that. And then lastly, blue. Now let's mix it up. We have a lot of cauldrons to fill. Ooh, these are a new one. You can start mass producing those as well. More ice tonics? Let's see. I don't think I have... Yeah, I don't have the thing to do that. Yep, the jalapenos prevent you from getting zapped. It's science! Okay, I guess we're making a radiation potion. Because I realize these have the same thing, so... Grand radiation potion! Go! Actually, no. Oh, this would be terrible. Hold on. I might have something for this. Boom! It's no longer the same thing, but now it's a superior quality. No, let's see. What do I have that's massive and can give me both yellow and purple? Like, if I keep going down, though, it's going to be too much. Oh, wait! If I get rid of a couple, throw these in there to make the same thing. I have 3 ingredient slots. If I go bam, bam, and then I throw in a spider. Hey, 4-star superior is still pretty good. We'll probably need a radiation potion for one of the... Like, you pretty much need to make every single kind of potion for the end game. Okay, let's see what else I can make. Okay, now I need a lot of B. But a lot of small amounts of B. Can I get even more? Boom. Not the best thing ever, but still pretty good. Alright, what else could we make? No, that's just more mana. How much money would I need to buy Quinn out for the day? A lot. He sells quite a few ingredients that are worth like 500 at this point. On a bad day, I mean. So I can't count for that too much. Good enough. No, I could make it better. Okay, what do I have? Well, that's a terrible idea. I'm gonna do it. Boom! 4 stars. Now here's a radiation. Okay, so while everything is currently cooking, seems it's time to go back into the deck, to be honest, because none of our potions at the moment have any bad effects, so there's no point in having sleight of hand. Instead, we're going to flip on over to Muktuk's Zeal. Because if your potions don't have any negative effects, there's no reason to use misdirection. Okay, how much you hit me for? 6. I can't risk another turn. Dang it, Luna! Just take it and go. At least we got Frosty of the Squirrel up. Oh, you're gonna stress me out as soon as... Okay. You're gonna give me a stress card and do that. Okay. You know what? Get out of here. Customers are being rude today, but I don't want to take the damage. Okay, if you're just gonna block... Increase stress by 1 every single time a card is played? No! You know, just take it. Luna, get out of my shop! Only your strongest potion will do. Okay. You know, I don't even care. These are all terrible sales, but at least I'm still making mad bank. You know what? I will take that hit. Plus 98%, that works. Oh, really? 6%, love it. Okay. Well, that didn't go too well, but whatever. You're thinking I'm going to need to put a stress reliever back in my deck? The thing is, we don't need a stress reliever. We need more draw power, and we're going to get that from Saffron. But look at all of our money. Masterwork Radiation. It even has like 4 different things. That's good. And another Masterwork. These have a bunch of terrible things, so it's less good. Okay. Gardening time! And for you... more spiders. And then as for you, I need some blue. Okay, so we got that done. Now we can brew up a couple of things. Yeah, we're going to need to get some more fuel and ingredients next time we go out. And it doesn't need to be that good. It needs to be 6. One short of that. What do I have that's small? Good enough. Okay. Do I have anything that's B and E? Good enough. Okay, on to the next batch of goodies. if I throw in you, what can I make? Didn't mean to throw those in. Oh, sight! That's right, we need to make one of those. Too much. Okay. Alright, that's actually pretty good. That's what we need for Quinn. Okay, so what else do we need? So we need, like, we already have mana. We have mana potions out the wazoo. We need, what is that? An alertness enhancer. Shouldn't be too difficult to make just a superior alertness enhancer. B, C, and D. Up, up, up. Up, up. Up. Well, that's a superior one right there. Up. I'd say that that's fairly good. And we'll get it tomorrow. Then we're going to just throw that in there and call it. May be terrible, but honestly, I don't care that much. Okay, so now that that's done, it's time to go out and get some more ingredients, get some more fuel. Yes, we could spend the entire day ice tonicking it up, but at the same time, I don't see the need. We've gotten most of the big upgrades at this point. We could use a new shelf. But then again, we're just going to replace the shelf next week. You know what? Because I'm thinking of it. What if we just take advantage of Vendi? There we go. buy out Quinn and make your way up the price list. I don't know if I want to do that, because at this point, a lot of our management, like a lot of their stuff, just their managements don't matter. But yeah, we're going to travel. Cat box. Ooh, Yeti belts. Ooh, that looks new. Oh, wow. That could be useful. You have earned your fungus, sir. As soon as I can find the fungus among us. I'm glad you dropped in on me today, Sylvia. Well, thank you, Corsac. That's downright warm. Trying to take your advice to heart, exchanging pleasantries and the like. It's not all that different from how I conduct myself when I'm in a new biome. The more initiative you show, the easier it is to pivot if things don't go your way. And we learned Pivot! Gain 2 shield per card played this on the current turn. Not awful. The fact that it's a 0 cost really helps it. Again, it's for that stall deck that... I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. It feels fine, all things considered. It's a decent enough shield card. Because keep in mind, the strongest shield card we have other than this is like 5 shield. So being able to play just so much shield in a single turn due to rhythm could be useful. Yeah, I don't think it would hurt my deck. That's the thing. I'll consider it. I can see the parallels. And looking at the town as its own sort of biome makes a certain amount of sense. It's working out for me anyway. I feel more at ease lately. That said, I wouldn't mind a quick prowl around the forest if you're up for it. If only you had a gain shield and draw card. Funny you mention that. I believe Corsac's final card can do that. Well, how about this weather? Oh, and if you're worried about running into any creatures here, don't. I'm wearing lycanthrope musk. It'll keep most beasts at bay. Although, it's supposed to have the opposite effect on women. I think it's working on me. I might have to lean in a bit closer. Huh, I suppose that'd be fine. I probably haven't seemed entirely receptive to flirtation. I've enjoyed it when it happened, though. And I think you're about as great as a legless coconut. What? I have no idea what that means. Well, leave it to me to put my foot in it. I'm going to keep this simple. I've greatly enjoyed spending time with you, Sylvia. And I wonder if you would like to engage in courtship with me. No. That's not a great idea. I enjoy spending time with you too, but I don't think we're a good romantic match. Ah, I was worried you might say that. I had to ask, though. Interpersonal skills are still a bit of a challenge for me. I'm sure you've noticed. I've noticed how far you've come in a short time, and I appreciate how willing you are to share your passions with me. Well, that's... That's really something to hear that. It's strange. I'm never lonely in the wilderness. I'm perfectly at ease with my own company, or in the company of animals. Squirrels excluded, obviously. Obviously, they're terrifying. Obviously. But as soon as I'm around people, all I can see is how different I am. And how poorly I fit into the spaces I'm meant to occupy. You'll never be lonely again. I won't let you. Well, I won't hold you to such a big promise. But I know now that I've got at least one true friend, and that's not a small thing. Not a small thing at all. Alright. Time to throw you back into the dragons. Ooh, that does look like some good stuff. Inverted bramble rose? Give it to someone you hate. Okay, but you like insects? Okay. And now here's your slime. Back into the Arctic with you. Ooh. Neat. Here's your flower. And I believe this is the rank 10 Baptiste. Sylvia, it was so kind of you to donate those potions. I'm including them as a prize as a part of a new Hero of the Month program. And if that goes over well, I'll be buying more from your future months. I guess it pays to be generous. Well, it certainly got me thinking about how nice it would be to have that sort of control over my own business dealings. You didn't have to ask anyone's permission to make a donation. You didn't have to justify your decision to your stakeholders. Well, I did get some dirty looks from the owl. But hey, a Hero of the Month program sounds like a good way to boost morale. Oh, that's the barest tip of the iceberg. I'm making some changes around here, big ones. You see, I realized something. In all our discussions of how we might make this organization better for the heroes, I was towing the company line. Even when my heart was with the heroes. My head was caught up in a certain way of thinking. An old way of thinking. It's the old ways that are broken. We need new ideas, new paradigms. Hence the big changes you mentioned. That's right! And those big changes start with the dissolution of the guild. Mint screaming in the background. Dissolution. You heard me. Effective immediately. The Heroes Guild is no more! And in its place shall rise the Heroes Guild! I just realized that it's probably confusing without seeing it spelled out, but there's an apostrophe now. Still confusing. At its heart, it's a simple idea. Rafter's Heroes Guild has always been a part of a larger organization, a franchise beholden to the main chapter back home. But this particular chapter is a risky venture by modern standards. The guilds of the mainland are a well-oiled mechanism. Out here, everything is less predictable and more dangerous. So my family feels they've put much more into Rafter's Guild than they've ever gone out of it. They've gone so far as to call it a money pit. So, I offered to take it off their hands. So now you're in charge? Yes! And no. I'm writing a new charter, one that will transform our little clubhouse into a non-profit organization. The value that the heroes generate will be funneled directly back into the organization, and into their own pockets. As for the question of who's in charge, if I've learned anything in recent days, it's the limit of my own perspective. We'll be holding elections soon to determine who will join me on a leadership council. By electing and empowering representatives from their own ranks, and establishing a system of checks and balances, the heroes can rest assured that my own personal blind spots won't become a systematic blind spot capable of impeding the organization as a whole. Wow, it actually sounds like you did it. You've solved all of the guild's problems. Well, not all our problems. My chambers are still drafty, and the lack of natural light in the morning is just abysmal. Still, I'm surprised your family agreed to this. Even if the guild isn't as lucrative as they hope, it's obviously generating revenue. And as unique as Rafter is, there's potential for this chapter to be massively profitable down the line. The truth is, they didn't just hand it over. They are business folk after all. But I was able to convince them that the guild's prospective earnings were somewhat less than the value of my inheritance. Ouch. So I'm officially out of the will, and my monthly stipend is a thing of the past. You mean you're broke now? For the time being, but I still think I came out ahead in this negotiation. This guild is going places, Sylvia, and I and my heroes now stand to benefit directly from the hard work we put into it. Plus, my mother still intends to send regular care packages, so my hair regimen, at least, will not suffer in the meantime. Whew! I feel good about this, Sylvia. It's the start of a whole new way of doing things. A heroes guild that is for the heroes and by the heroes. Hence the apostrophe. Exactly! You see, it's not just a flashy change. But that's enough shop talk, surely. Come, let's make the most of our time. Baptiste leads Sylvia down to the water, where they once again have a view of the Kraken skull. He considers it quietly, thoughtfully, as if it were artwork in a museum. Artwork he was sure held some obscure secret significance. Ah, that skull does loom large, doesn't it? As monuments go, it's a little morbid. But it's a good reminder of where we've been, and of what awaits us at the end. I'm happy that between those points, our two paths converged. Your friendship has been a guiding light in my life of late. Truly, I had been stumbling in the dark. You helped me make sense of my new surroundings, and you helped me refine my purpose. You helped me too. It's good of you to say so. And I trust our partnership shall continue to thrive in the years to come. You know, now that I think about it, you're quite fearless, Sylvia. Cool under pressure and honorable too. The Heroes Guild could use a recruit like you. You must be joking. Ha! You know me well, and I'm glad that you do. Thanks ever so much for being that rarest of creatures. A true friend. And we get a hug! And we learn Silver Tongue! Raise interest by 10 and remove all customer buffs. See, no more of that remove random buff thing that Baptiste had. This gets rid of everything they might have if you plan on if your problem is that they're buffing themselves. It's not a bad card. It's really not. Again, I don't think we're going to be using it for our deck, but it's not bad. You have reached max relationship with Baptiste. That's one character down. Okay, time to go see Roxanne. And now it's on to Luna. Back to Saffron, who we should honestly be getting Saffron soon. Like her rank 9. Oh, there it is. I'm almost out of material for my pipe. I'll go out on a limb and guess you don't buy your tobacco at the marketplace. It actually isn't tobacco at all. It's just a soothing blend of flower petals and witch bramble. No wonder it smells so floral. Let me show you how I do it. Saffron pushes aside some foliage to reveal a small workstation. Among the tools on display, Sylvia recognizes a mortar and pestle and a small fermenter. Until recently, I reused old jaws for fermentation, but Muktuk's craftsmanship is second to none. I'm sure he's told you so himself. You want to take a spin with the pestle while I cycle out the fermenter? Make it nice and fine. Dried fairy flowers hang from a line that runs between tree branches. Saffron reaches up and plucks a few petals. She places the brittle petals and a pinch of bramble vine into the mortar, which she then hands to Sylvia. Sylvia gets to work grinding the materials down. The repetitive motion and the sound of the clinking pestle lull her into a peaceful haze. It's kind of relaxing, isn't it? Small work with the hands can be meditative, particularly if you aren't the type to enjoy sitting still, and we both know you don't like being idle. The smell is soothing too. Maybe I should take a puff from your pipe. Oh, I'm not sure that's a good idea. Even if it isn't tobacco, the smoke isn't good for your lungs. I know that might sound hypocritical of me, but as a fey being, I have less to worry about. Humans are fragile, and I'd like to keep you in one piece. Thanks for looking out for me. You're a good influence. I'm glad that you didn't take offense. If I'm honest, this touches on a topic I've been dwelling on lately. I'm not sure exactly how to put this. Not to be a total mimic, but remember to breathe. That's right. Of course, that's right. Managing stress brings serenity of mind. And vice versa. So, let's talk about probably one of the most OP cards in the entire game. This is Serenity of the Mind. Draw 5 cards. Yes, you're reading that correctly. 5 can only be played if stress level is less than 20%. See? You've taught me a lot. I'm glad about that. And glad for the reminder that I can speak openly with you. Here's what has troubled me. You're human, Sylvia, and I'm not. My lifespan is longer than yours. My body is more resilient. I'm not immortal by any means, but chances are I'll still be here when you're gone. Given my history, I'm sure you can imagine how that makes me feel. The good stuff is worth some hurt. I mean, what's the alternative? You said you don't want to hide away, and that means taking the good with the bad as it comes. That's certainly wise. It's hard to argue that I would be better off unfeeling and alone. I was content in my solitude. Oh, excuse me. These last years. But now that I know what's missing, there's no going back. So I'm not suggesting that we should stop spending time together, not at all. That's a relief. Hey, I'm not one for drama, you know that. I'm only trying to be honest about my fears. And if I'm overprotective at times, or if I seem like I'm trying to push you away, I hope you'll at least know where I'm coming from. Not a place of callousness, quite the opposite. I know you care about me. Good. Don't forget it. Please be patient with me, Sylvia. You and this, it's just... or you. This. It's an adjustment for me. It might take some time for me to get used to. I want Saffron to understand that I'm not expecting her to move at anyone's pace but her own. Words don't seem sufficient, so how about a meaningful gesture? And we need... Gee, guys, I don't know. You think we got any fire tonics and ice tonics lying around? Logs, logs, logs. Okay, we'll do that in a second. Let me give a gift to Muktuk. Even though we got him to rank 9, we still, we need to give him gifts on top of the potions. But I will go back and get it. Might need to brew some? Oh! Okay, let's fuel... The amount I'm getting now might be able to last us for the rest of the game. Possibly not, but we'll see. And hay is not even worth it. Okay, time to go to Quinn, and yeah, let's buy some ingredients. Okay, let's start with the management amount. Was that a gold? It was a gold slime. Okay, I'm just wondering what I should grab. I mean, I could... Yeah, just start grabbing. Anything that could be remotely useful to me. Okay, yeah, things are starting to get less and less useful, spread out. These are definitely useful, though. So are you. And you for sure. I want to make sure that I buy my jalapenos and, like, these things. I think this is good. I don't want to sell, like, buy everything. They restock every day after all. But that's a good haul. I wonder what vacations are like. Oof. Ouch. Greetings, Sylvia. How's business? I trust you're not letting that ghoulish little girl get to you. Anubia? She's unnerving, but I'm not too worried. Good. That's good. Because someone needs to take that little upstart down a peg. Meh. I guess you're not a fan. A fan? Of an outsider coming to my home and acting like she owns the place? I should say not. I've traveled extensively, and I've seen her grand empire for myself. It's a sterile cinder block dystopia, a monument to mass production. Her factories spew bile into the air and the seas, and the people accept it because in the short term, their lives are comfortable. Ouch. And that's what she wants to do to Rafta? Her large-scale business model requires it. There must always be a new market. Success is defined by growth, not equilibrium. Ouch. Again, getting a little real there. But she's made a dire mistake. Coming here, Rafta doesn't need another queen. That's right, you took down the last one. Something like that, yes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to dredge up the past. I only meant to say that Anubia can only grab as much power as people are willing to give her, whatever her other ambitions might be. I'm not going to let her dominate the potions market. Meh. Very good. That's what I was hoping to hear. I like you, Sylvia. You know your place. Good luck out there. I know my place? What's that supposed to mean? I think the boy's gotten a bit too big for his britches. I was never a fan, you know. All he has to do to sell a potion is flash his dimples and bat his eyelashes. The rest of us work for a living. Wait, is that how you have so much of an issue with him? Because you were competitors? And he got all the attention? Oh my gosh, you're super jealous of him, aren't you? Yeah, I had dimples too, you know! Okay, flesh costs less, fungus costs less, plants cost less, things cost less. The Corsac difference. Increased value for cures. We don't really sell those. But hey, we made money. Otherwise, let's brew. Masterwork. Yeah, let's pull out all of these. And then we'll see what we can give to, like, our friends. We can also pull out the Dragon Age to Superior Inside Enhancer. And the Dragon Age Superior Silence Cure. Okay, so we have the Silence Cure. We need to throw the Tolerance Potion in there. You thought aging was supposed to remove negative traits? Nope, just increases the value. So as you can see, this will go from 1,155 to 1,386. That's all it does. A little bit of a price increase. But hey, price is how we judge the potions at the contest. Can't age potions more than once, can you? Nope, sorry. That's why I bought only like 2 cauldrons too, because it's not that useful. I mean, it is super useful, it's just not the most useful, if that makes sense. Okay, custom orders. Here's Muktuks. Okay, we can rank up Muktuk. Mana Potion. Here. And a site. Here. And ship. $22. Alright, now all the custom orders that we got so far, I mean, we will need to grab more, but all the ones we have so far are doing pretty good. Let's flip on over to the deck builder really fast. We are going to get rid of Strike or Strike Later. Now that we have more draw power, I feel like we can actually make use of Corsac's Pivot in terms of a defensive card. Let's improve our draw power more by getting rid of, like, honestly, Ferocity of the Squirrel, while nice, I don't think it will help out overall. No. The problem is that it's a dead card when we don't use it, you know? So I think I'm going to do that. And then we will also get rid of 1 rhythm. Actually, can I even put 2 copies of it in? Yes, I can. Alright. We have a lot more draw power. We're keeping craftsmanship. The question is, do we want zeal? Or do we want, like, nah, hustle probably isn't that good. Like, it's, again, it's a win more card. We don't want to win more. Alright, I think that's good. Now let's brew. No, wait, I forgot to go to the garden. Always forgetting these things. Okay, we need more of these. So B, N, D, and we could use more of these. And now we can brew. The thing is, because I can't... Oh, these are not good right now. Like... They are too many Magimans. And there. More ice tonics. Now it's time for you. And I think that's all of our good stuff. So we're going to have to just... No, wait, I still have these. what if I throw in some blue? What about an absolutely tiny amount of blue? Yeah, to be fair, that's pretty good. All right. Now that that's out of the way, well, we don't really need the money. I do want to see, like, how our deck is going to perform. So why don't we throw some potions up there and see how this new drawing power deck works. Time to save. And open the shop. I'm sorry, did I... Oh, pivot has to be the last card you play. Noted! Pivot should always be the last card? Okay, I thought it read more like bravado. Where you play it first, then you try to play a whole bunch of cards afterwards, but that is not the case, and I am aware of this now. Oh, you have like no patience, dude. Please draw my closer. I didn't draw my closer. we go. Jeez. I'm hoping for a rhythm. I got 2 rhythms in the deck and I didn't draw it. You have 1 rhythm? No, I had improv. Oh, I did yank 1? My bad. Half the deck in your hand but no rhythm. I know, and I just drew it, but I wouldn't have enough to end the turn 2. Yep, there it is, too late. That's the thing about the deck. I'm just gonna have to accept that in a 2 out of 20 deck, even drawing half your deck in a single turn is not ideal. One out of 20? No, I got 2 rhythms, so it's 2 out of 20. Gotcha. Sometimes if I can get that rhythm going, it has a chance of just knocking the enemy out instantly. No. %. Still not a bad session. And if I'm ever in a competition, I will have a couple more turns to play it out. So I think that is a good deck. I think that's a really good deck we got going on. It could still be better by a couple of cards we don't have yet, though. And a Masterwork Drowsiness Cure. You know, I'm throwing it out there. The fact that that looks like an eyeball being stabbed through, not comfortable with it. You thought it was a pendulum in front of a swirly eye? It might be. Okay, that's good. Wait, that's 6 slots? Dang. Wait, I don't even need that many. That works. Not that. There we go. Not the most, but it will work for just something. Something different, you know? Oh, should have done that. But whatever. Next. do I have that C and D? Okay, what about just C? Okay, now I need a lot of blue and nothing else. Ooh, perfection. However, speed potions take a long time to brew. Now it's time to throw in spiders. Yes, very nice. Alright, now that we got a whole bunch of new things cooking and more money than we know what to do with, let's just hang out for a while. Obviously, we're still going to go around and do our usual things. Salt and Pepper, talk to us. Sylvia, pull up a fishing rod. We gotta replenish the provisions. Let us avail ourselves of the ocean's bounty and one another's company. At the pirate's direction, Sylvia baits her hook with a writhing mirthworm. Its toothy grin is unnerving. They cast their lines and soon Salt is singing, "Oh, I wish for a fish. And I wish for a dish for that fish." The minutes crawl by and nothing bites. I wonder if we might have more luck if we were quiet, or use more appetizing bait. Oh, we're just the decoys. We're supposed to be super conspicuous. That way the fish swim away from us and right into the blast fishing zone off the side of the boat. As the saying goes, you catch more fish with cannons. I mean, I've played Breath of the Wild, so I agree. There's an explosion nearby, followed by a great splash of water. The pirates assembled on the ship's deck howl in triumph. Huzzah! Salt. Now might be a good time to have the talk. Yeah, alright, Sylvia, there's something we gotta discuss. You know that, hey, you're a blood brother, welcome to the family stuff? Might have gone ahead of ourselves. Wow, so much for family is forever, I guess. You're still a blood brother, Sylvia. Yeah, we aren't dropping you off at the orphanage or anything. In fact, hold up, I started us off on the wrong paw. We need to have us a parlay. In other words, let's clear our heads and start over. Yep. Welcome to... Oh god, why? Why? No. No. What? Salt and Pepper, your cards are usually so good. So the reason you want to use this is to get rid of any stress cards in your hand, but the thing is, it doesn't say discard stress cards, it says 3 random cards. So unless this and 3 stress cards are in your hand, why are you getting rid of it? This is for if your other cards are all stressed. Yes, but why put yourself in this situation? Consider it done. Now, what did you want to talk about? It ain't really no big deal. Just had some of the crew point out you can't be a real pirate unless you made an offering to the big guy. The big guy? You know, the pious Piscine, the saltwater savior, he of many scales and no fingers. The Great Katuna. All hail the Great Katuna! The Great Katuna is a pirate deity, I take it? The one and only! From his trench far below, he watches all that transpires upon the ocean's surface. When he is pleased, our ships can come and go without any hassle. When he's displeased, look out. Storms, tidal waves, primordial horrors, newly wakened and crazed with hunger. And once I got a splinter. The best way to stay on Katuna's good side is by making an offering. Big guy likes his cut of the booty, if you know what I mean. Okay, so throw stuff overboard, like seashells, wine and mutton? More like cold hard cash, Sylvia, or the equivalent in precious goods. In your case, a couple of fancy potions would do the trick. Whatever it takes. If I need to make an offering, then so be it. Well, that's what we like to hear. In fact, since you've got so much money to spare, maybe kick a little my way too. That's bordering on sacrilege, Salt. Katuna doesn't mind a little entrepreneurial spirit. Anyway, we'll give you some time to get your offering together. Trust me, it'll be worth it. Get in the deep water deity's good graces. And it'll be smooth sailing from here on out. If I want to run with Salt and Pepper, I've got to make a sacrifice to Katuna. It'll hurt my bottom line, but I've come this far. So we need to use a superior tolerance potion, which one of them is for the competition we're on right now, and I know for sure we have at least one radiation tonic lying around. And if not, I could always make more. Ooh, what are these? Oh, that's decent. Okay. And yeah, we had some of those already. Let's find you a fungus. Zid should need to rank up soon. That's new. That's good. Okay. You like your bugs. It just occurred to me. We're both in the business of curing people of what ails them. I hadn't thought of it that way before. I've got a point though, right? Your potions replenish health and shield against damage. And live music has the power to soothe the soul. I could use some soothing right now, actually, so let's hope this does the trick. Zid leads Sylvia to the waterfront, where a temporary stage has been constructed, and a battle of the bands is in progress. Sylvia's never seen anything quite like it before. It's not just music. Each band employs magic and dazzling displays of pyrotechnics. There are laser light shows, phantasmal backup dancers, and illusory fireworks. And through it all, Zid just scowls. Is everything okay? You seem down. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a bummer. These things normally cheer me right up, but today's it's all just a stark reminder of how audiences cheer style over substance. Which makes me question pretty much everything, actually. The time and effort I'm putting into writing a song of my own, is that just vanity? Back home, I have a professional songwriters lining up to work with me. Maybe I should stick to what I'm good at and stop chasing windmills. What you're good at? Should I put my thoughts to music? Following dreams can be pretty tough. I'm better off not trying to write my own stuff. But I thought it was going well. I thought so too. I was so confident, in fact, that I dropped in on an open night mic yesterday. I performed 2 songs. One of them was the original piece I've been working so hard on. The other was something new that my manager sent me, the Ballad of Greenbeard the Slime Slayer. It's every bit as juvenile and uninspired as it sounds. But, of the 2 songs, Greenbeard was the clear favorite. I could have given you notes. You should have played it for me first. Well, sorry, I wanted to workshop it a bit before you heard the official debut. Now I'm glad I didn't subject you to it. Although that said, I thought I had a really solid idea, Sil. Something that I hadn't done before. I used all the conventions of a traditionally heroic ballad, but instead of focusing on an action hero, I wrote about a regular everyday citizen. I wanted to show how the average woman is every bit as remarkable, as worthy of celebration as a muscled dude with a sword. That sounds pretty interesting. I thought so too, but the audience didn't know what to make of it. I shouldn't be surprised. I'm not surprised, if I'm honest. But I am disappointed. I was really hoping the crowd would prove me wrong. Instead, they confirmed what I've known all along. People don't want new and different, they want tried and true. So from now on, that's just what I'll give them. I don't know. You don't have to worry about me, honest, I'm fine. I took a shot at something new and it didn't work out, but I still have plenty to offer. Including haggling tips. Remember a minute ago when I put my woes to song? Admit it, that catchy tune had you hooked. And we learned catchy tune. Raise interest by the most recent raised interest amount. So if you hit someone with like 32 interest all at once, this will again use that. It's for a very like heavy deck where you want to like just pound the opponent with as much interest as possible. It's basically just a double whammy. But the fact that it costs 2 is already saying a lot. I can use that in haggling, sure, but I'd rather cheer you up. I must be taking to this hero gig, because the idea of smiting some monsters is more than enough to cheer me up. If you really want some help, you can always kick some potions my way, then I can go out and blow off some steam. Zid's planned to take her professional frustrations out on monsters, but I think she'll be happier if she pours that energy into her art. Okay, so petrification cure and a silence cure. You'd rather just draw another chorus? That makes sense. And here's Bone. So we don't need to gift Baptiste things anymore because, well, Baptiste is maxed out. But we could still take advantage of his services. That is way too expensive. Here's some Thunder Quartz. And Roxanne wants to talk. All set for our study session? I've got the flashcards. And I've got the snacks. Although, I'm afraid you'll have to sign a waiver first. Some of these snack peppers are hot enough to scald your tongue. Yeah, I might just stick with pretzels. Flashcards in hand, Sylvia begins quizzing Roxanne on the finer points of business administration. She gets more answers wrong than she gets right. And rather than accepting that, she tends to argue. As if the wrong answer could be made right if she just disagrees passionately enough. Oh, this is pointless! You'll get the hang of it. No, I mean there's no point in doing this. I already know I'm going to ace the exam. There's no doubt about that. Well, that's a bit ominous. I've had enough, Sylvia. For too long have I languished on the surface world, shackled by the rules of polite society. Now, at last, I have the upper hand. I forgot how much you enjoyed playing the villain. It's positively thrilling! But I'm not just role-playing here. I've got gossip! Hot, juicy, damaging gossip. The sort a person might pay to make go away. Wait. You're talking about... blackmail! Is this about my snoring? Because I'm not that embarrassed. Dear thing, no. I wouldn't dream of fleecing you. I mean, what would I even get out of you? Loose change in pocket lint? Ha ha. Listen, I didn't go looking for trouble, not this time. But I was naturally curious about the identity of the man who will be proctoring my exam. I thought I'd wear his favorite perfume, perhaps, or the colors of his favorite sports team. Just a little something to nudge his perception of me in a positive direction. I'm not sure that would help with totally objective multiple choice tests. But okay. Imagine my surprise, however, when I realized I recognized the man. I'd seen him once before. Among the revelers at the Pirate Jamboree. He must have made quite an impression. You could say that. He was thrown overboard midway through the party. In fact, after he was caught pawing through the litter box. Some people claimed he'd simply dropped his keys. Others believed he was deep in his cups and looking for a buried doubloons. The outcome was the same. His actions were declared at an irredeemable party foul, and he was forced to walk the plank before he could stink up the place. I've photoglyphed the whole thing, and I can't imagine he'd want those images to be posted anywhere. All this to say, I have a trump card, and now I only have to decide whether to use it. You're better than this, Roxanne. Blackmail is cheating. And you're brilliant, so why resort to cheating? Well, the flattery is welcome. As for the moralizing, Cusset, if I'm honest, I was hoping you'd hate this plan. Lately, I've grown increasingly uncomfortable with shortcuts. That's due in no small part to your influence. More than once, when faced with a moral conundrum, I found myself asking, what would Sylvia think? Sounds like you're developing a conscience. You know the right thing to do. It's just easier for you to do it when you can blame it on me. A conscience and a psychoanalyst all in one, hey? You're a perfectly rotten influence, Sylvia. And by that you mean, I'm a good influence. Call it what you like, it's aggravating. You have such an innocent demeanor, but you certainly know how to deploy your charm to get what you want. Turn that magnetic sway onto your customers, I think you'll like the results. And yes, here's magnetism. Raise interest by 15 and apply charm for 2 turns. This is better than enthusiasm. Like, I still don't think it's great, but it is like a really, it's a better card than flattery, all things considered. If that kind of play is your style. Thanks. Now we should get back to studying. Perhaps later. I have some machinations to ponder. And it's much easier to be wicked when you're not around. Roxanne is struggling to walk the straight and narrow. We should find a way to support her new lease on life. Okay, so we need to make a curse cure and another radiation tonic. Okay, I need to give you a fruit. We've given Muktuk and Saffron and Quinn their various things that they need to rank up, potions to rank up, but we still need to raise their interest with gifts before they'll finally, you know, go over the rank 10. Ooh, we got new shadow. And did I gift you? Yeah, okay. Let's shop though. These might not be the most useful right now, but as soon as the week rolls over, I'll have a lot of use for these in the next batch. Alright. Let's call it another day. Okay, just a few days until the competition. And everything's gonna cost more. That's fine. We now have over 100,000 gold. We really don't need to be doing any more shopping for right now. Or, like, selling for right now. Okay, I could use more of you. More of you. Okay, then some for you. Well, let's take everything out of the pots and see what we... Let's find out if we have what it takes to, what's the words I'm looking for? Custom orders. Let's see how we're doing on those. Dragon Age Shadow Tonics and the Dragon Age Tolerance Potions. Those are what I needed. And while these are my only tolerance potion. No, wait, I have one other. Yep. we go. We can now get to rank 10 with salt and pepper. However, okay, so we do have the silence potion, but we never made a petrification cure, and we never made a curse cure. So let's make those right now. Petrification and curse. Okay, so let's start with the curse. We need B, C, and E. Not a lot of good. Okay, what if I raise B and C a lot and then throw spiders in there? Why is that always like the thing I go for? I mean, that just sounds wrong when I say it out loud. It seems that's as good as I'm gonna get it, but it's good enough, so. Our curse cure is done. Now we need a petrification cure. For that, we need A, C, and E. Oh, wow. Guys, look what I haphazardly threw together. This is going to become a masterwork. Unfortunately, it's only going to give me 4 instead of 5, but it's perfect. And it's, yeah, so that was a lot of haphazard luck on my end. I didn't plan that. And then something with 3. Alright, so that's going to be done. We're just making our usual money makers. And up, up, and up. And the last one will be the peppers for the thunder tonics. Okay, so what is my most valuable potion? Have to be one of my newest ones. $13.92. Okay, so do we open up the shop? Yeah, we probably should. Because I should get those potions out of there before and thrown into the custom orders before we keep raising people. Okay, we can. I don't want to be below 1 on anything, just in case we might use them later. Make sure the second rhythm is in your deck. Oh, what? Did I get rid of the other rhythm? I hope I didn't. I probably did, though. Yeah, I did. Okay. And with that, let's open. Not a good start, but whatever. 70%'s good. Okay, you plan on swinging at me for 4. So let's try to rhythm. Pivot. You threw 2 of those in my deck? Wow, I lost to a freaking jester. Yeah, I got hard counter. Like, the thing is, you would think that, oh, Q, you finally found your weakness. Tell me a single deck in this game that could survive their entire hand being filled with stress for no reason. Bravado, salt and pepper for confident, serenity of mind, improv. Let's do this. I relish the challenge. Oh, no draw. I filled my deck to the brim with draw, and I could still sometimes lose it. Okay, you hit me. You're not hitting me. Exactly what I needed. Get out of here. There's my defense, but I need to get a rhythm. Okay, got a rhythm going. Here we go. I didn't realize I still had some patience left. Speaking of, now I can't wait to get Zid's last card. You gained some somehow. I know, right? My pivots gained me patience when rhythm. Wait! Wait! They go to negative cost? What? That's a thing? I think we all just learned something. Okay, there's the curse cure. You don't need to clip it. I can understand it. Okay. Oh boy. So many potions. Honestly, at this point, I don't really want to make more potions. And I know what you're thinking, like, but Q, that's lost profit! But I kind of want to save my ingredients for when I get the better cauldron, and all of my potions can be made into masterworks. Because I do want to, like, one of the achievements of the game is to make a masterwork of literally everything. And I can barely make any masterworks unless it's perfect brews. Keep up the gardening? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That's a no-brainer. Let's throw in this silence cure. Sorry, I just have to check. Here's a silence cure. Here's the other one. Okay, so I did have backup. Just making sure I didn't sell one of the, or I don't get rid of all of my contest potions right before it. Okay, now we can finish off Zed. And Roxanne. gonna need you to have a fish. Ooh, dragon dung. Let's see. Mushroom. And you can go back to the Dragon Oasis. Good stuff. And where's your bug? Here's your bug. And finally, mint. Mint should be close to ranking up to 10 with all of our things we've been giving her. I mean, she's been with us since the beginning. Her and Quinn, yep, there's the rank 10. So, I owe you an apology. And a thank you. Basically, I should probably throw a whole parade in your honor at this point. You mean because of the speed potions? It was nothing. I just wanted you to provide you with an edge out there. An edge that was handcrafted with love just for you. No legendary weapons required, and no thanks necessary. As for the apology, what would you even be sorry about? All the wallowing, self-pity's not a good look on an aspiring hero. Well, I can agree. In the case of an aspiring hero who's accomplished as much as you have, thanks. But I don't know if I've accomplished all that much yet. Sure you have, think about it. In your quest for an artifact, you forged ahead where other heroes feared to tread. You vanquished monsters, confronted dragons, solved riddles, navigated mazes, and scaled mountains. And I have it on good authority that you did all this, while saving a lot of pirates from a lot of trees. Sylvia, I think you're determined to make me blush so hard my head bursts into flames. Can we sneak out of here? I don't want any witnesses around when I combust. The weather is pleasant down by the water, and children frolic in the surf. But it's obvious to Sylvia that Mint's eyes are drawn to the Kraken skull, sitting ominously in the shallows. Good view of the Kraken skull from here. Yeah, as trophies go, it's hard to beat. Heroes are always comparing trophies, you know? We all want tangible proof of what we've accomplished. That was sort of my whole thing with wanting a legendary weapon. I wanted something I could point to and say, see, I'm worthy. I'm surrounded by people I idolize, Sylvia. The imposter syndrome is real. You might not have found your weapon, but you proved yourself worthy along the way. Right now, hearing you say that, I believe it. But will I believe it tomorrow? Will I believe it the next time a monster gets to drop on me, or I trigger a trap, or I oversleep? Believing in yourself is hard. It takes work. Daily, active work. Funny. It's easy for me to believe in you. It's about the easiest thing in the world. Sylvia! I don't know what I did to deserve a friend like you. Honestly, you're just the best. I can't promise all my doubts are laid to rest, but I promise I'll try not to be so hard on myself. Instead of chasing validation, I'm going to celebrate the things I know I do well. Hugging, for instance. I'm telling you, Sylvia, I give the best hugs in all the guild. Hugging? Really? It's a skill, Sylvia. A skill I've honed over the years to near perfection. Huh. I guess I should be the judge of that, though, right? Bring it in, bud. You're worthy of this. And so am I. And she lifts. And we learned fortitude. So, this is really interesting, actually. Fortitude is probably one of the best, damage negations in the entire game. Negates stress received from all sources for 2 turns. Yeah, infinite shield for 2 turns. Like, it is phenomenal. This is why this card is ultimately why I say those cards that are like, oh, gives you, what is it? Like, half damage. No, this just says nothing. And also negates any stress you get from stress cards, too. It's good all around. Again, it's not going to fit with our deck that we built up to this point, but it is a good card. Now, back to the Arctic. That's new. Oh, that's a lot of purple. Dragon pheromones, huh? I think Luna's gonna be the next one we rank up, just by how things have been going. Here's a gem for you. There we go. Thanks for joining me. I picked out some new office furniture. And as harmless as it sounds, it could be a fraud experience. Why, are you a big spender? Not exactly. Just come with me to the lamp vendor, okay? And pull me out if I do anything weird. As soon as they step inside the lamp seller's stall, Luna tenses up. Her pupils grow huge. Her wings flutter. She walks towards the nearest lamp. Luna, don't go into the light! Then she walks right into the lamp, bumping against it repeatedly. Luna! Luna! Snap out of it! Oh no, I did it again, didn't I? Maybe we should skip the lamps for now. What's next on your list? Rugs, but we better steer clear of the wool ones. I haven't been known to snack. Well, that wasn't quite the relaxing outing I had in mind. I'm more out of sorts than I was at the start. Eyeballs don't randomly fall out of sockets, right? They're pretty good. My teeth are chattering so hard that my face feels loose. Nerves? Stress? Yes, and the lack of sleep. Ugh, words. Caffeine is nature's panacea? Panacea. I don't know how to pronounce that one. But it has its limits. And I may have found them, Sylvia. I know I probably spend too much time complaining to you about my big client. But you're my best friend, Sylvia, and you're the best sounding board I have when I'm feeling desperate to vent. Vent away. That's what I'm here for. You're too good to me, Sylvia. Panacea? Panacea. Okay. As long as you've noticed, I've been burning the candle at both ends. I've started feeling like I'm in danger of burning out completely. So I let Her Highness know that the amount of work she was asking for wasn't sustainable. I was afraid she'd be disappointed. I thought maybe I'd lose her business, but instead she came back with an offer. An offer? She wants to buy the whole business, Sylvia. She wants my little boutique to become her full-time publicity team. That's right, a team. She wants me to expand, and her offer came with a very generous number attached. Luna, congratulations. That's every entrepreneur's dream, right? Maybe. To be honest, I'm not really sure what I want. How do I even begin to make such a big decision? What does your 5-year plan say? Does taking the offer get you closer to your goals? Sylvia, that's brilliant! I might not have planned for this specifically, but there is a plan. I need to consider new opportunities in that context. And it's a lot to consider. Am I ready to cede control on this scale? Am I ready to cut my other clients loose to focus on a single ongoing project? I don't know the answers. Honestly, my head throbs when I even try to think about it. Did I mention my eyes feel like they're bulging out? You need some sleep, I think. A big decision like this, you need to come at it with a clear head. Sleep! Now that you've said it, that's all I can think about. You're a master of subliminal suggestion, Sylvia. I hope you're using those skills in your daily negotiations. And we learned subliminal suggestion. So, raise interest by 10 at the start of customer's turn. Value increases by 5 every turn. Can we just talk about how this is probably the best card we've ever gotten from her? It's still not amazing. It's a stall card. But it's still better than, like, most things we got. It's like 2 Plant the Seeds. Like, it's better than 2 Plant the Seeds combined into one card. Congratulations, Luna. You have shown me a card I don't hate. It's still not going in the deck. Listen to the sound of my voice and give me all your money. I'm not totally under your control, although I'd pay you an absurd amount of money for a supercharged cup of coffee right now. Poor Luna. More coffee is the last thing she needs. Maybe I can brew up something even better. Yes, give her a stamina potion. That sounds like a smart idea. Let's see. I doubt we can max out anyone else tonight. Maybe we can get Quinn to rank 9. Oh wait, Quinn is rank 9. What am I talking about? Here's Bone. And here's your slime. Looks like we're maxing out, Quinn. So, did you get the potions? Yeah. I don't know if giving stuff away for free is a great business model, though, Sylvia. But I don't mind reaping the benefits. And this combo you came up with could be just the thing to give my powers a boost. That's the idea. But range is just half the problem. The other is precision. And I think I figured out something that can help me with that. Here's the thing. Clairvoyance is sort of a catch-all term. It covers a range of abilities. I'm thinking my deal is more accurately telemetry. It relies on associations between an item and a place or person. So it's not entirely random then. Right. I eat squid vine, I see the mer person who harvested it. I start washing stuff down with your potions, I see you. And now, I've just gotten my hands on some grapes. The same variety my parents grow. So if you eat them, then maybe you'll get a glimpse of your parents? It's a theory anyway, and there's only one way to test it. So you're going to do it? Right now? I mean, may as well. You want to stick around? Sure, of course! Cool, here goes. I see them. It's working. Wow. What do you see? I see my mother. Her hair is shorter, but it's definitely her. She's having a cocktail. My father is grooming the ferret. They're just living their lives. As if nothing were wrong. As if their only child hadn't run the heck away from them. Oh, Quinn, I'm sorry. That really stinks. I know you must have hoped. What can I do? Are you okay? Say something! Meh. To be honest, I expected this. You must be disappointed, though. Yeah, of course I am. But this is who they are, Sylvia. Who they've always been. And it's not me who needs to change. I have days where I forget that. Bad days where I get caught up in wishful thinking. But the bad days aren't so bad lately. Because I've got you now. And you're plenty. Too much sometimes. Don't ever change, Quinn. I mean it. I don't plan on it. But it's kind of alright being out of my comfort zone sometimes. I'm glad I didn't push you away. I mean, I tried. But you're stupid stubborn, Sylvia. I just had a feeling we'd make a good team. And I also have a feeling that we would be really, truly excellent at hugging. You've gone too far, Sylvia. I'm quickly rethinking my don't push her away stance. Sorry, Quinn, this is happening. Oh, what the hell. Take it or leave it. Raise interest to the next level. Ignores customer shield. Close sale. This one's actually, probably one of the best ones in the game. Again, it maxes to the next level, which is kind of what you want your closer to do. You've reached max relationship with Quinn. Yeah, fills an empty bar. The only reason you would ever want to use something else is 1, misdirection to get rid of negative effects on your potions, or 2, if you feel like the closer like Zeal, which can raise it by 20 or more if you have buffs, can raise multiple hearts in a single go. The only issue with that closer is the timing. You always play a closer last. What do you mean, the timing? Like, you never want to play a closer as your first card anyway. What if you draw it in the opening hand? What if you draw any closer in the opening hand? Like, that's the thing. What if you draw any closer in the opening hand? What are you doing up so early? Market research. Vague but uncharacteristically brief. That works for me. Stick around, Sylvia. You might learn something. Ah, here we go. Fair tidings. Yikes! Anubia? Are you feeling alright? Your potion has arrived within the promised time frame. My what? What is happening right now? Thank you for your business. Wait a minute. Oswald, did you order a potion from the competition? Like I said, market research. I wanted to learn a few things, such as how speedy Anubia's service is. Pay the drone now, won't you? I will not. Huh. I wonder what happens if we don't pay. Thank you for your business. You have an unpaid balance. We may have found Anubia's weakness. If her entire workforce is this mindless. You have an unpaid... Shush, drone! We were just talking about how foolish your mistress is. You might be onto something, Oswald. If nothing else, this dummy is perfect for practicing my festival trash talk. Ooh, I'm Anubia, and I think I'm so great. But I'm really a big brat when I lose the festival. I'm gonna cry like a stupid baby. You toad! How dare you speak to me thus? Wait a minute. Anubia? I thought this thing was a mindless drone! Less a drone than a husk. One that I can inhabit at will. It's a useful talent. My eyes and ears are everywhere. But that means you're spying on people. People let these things into their homes. They have no idea you can listen in on whenever you like. As if anyone here were at all interesting. But you're a fool to think trading potions for coins is the path to success. The only true valuable commodity in this world is data. Ouch. Selling potions is a means to an end. It gets me into their homes, into their heads. And once I've learned all there is to learn about the people of Rafta, they will be my subjects in every way that matters. You're a total megalomaniac. And if you think I'll stay quiet about this, tell whoever you'd like. See what good it does. My prediction? People will give up a little privacy for a little convenience. And I'm offering a great deal of convenience. Thank you for your business. May your purchase bring you contentment. Don't forget to rate your experience. I'll rate my experience alright. Unsettling, would not recommend. I mean, did you hear all that? She's a total creep. A monster. And she's wrong about people. Isn't she? I hope so, Sylvia. I suppose we'll learn soon enough. And now we are completely unable to go to the Arctic or the crater. For our heroes, that is. I don't know why why her power is that. But that's her power, and that's a pretty nasty one if you did not prepare up to this point. Otherwise, increased value for fire tonics today. You know, just in case we want more money. But yes, with the competition in 2 days, we're going to be preparing, but I think I'm going to end the stream this time. Mostly because I do feel sleep encroaching upon me, and I don't want to keep going. I'm already badly messing up my lines that I've been reading up to this point, so I hope this is a good stopping point as any. And if everything goes as planned, next stream might be the final one because at the end of it all, we may get we'll probably finish up every single character's ranks to 10. I mean, where are we right now in this? As of right now, Oswald is 4, Quinn is 10, Muktuk is 9. Saffron is 9. Luna is 9. Roxanne is 9. Salt and Pepper are 9. Baptiste is 10. Mint is 10. Corsac is 7, but remember, Corsac is the one who came to us the latest. And Zid is 9. Does Oswald only go to 5? Yeah, Oswald only goes to 5. You can even see, the number of hearts. Oswald gets 1 rank every single week. So, he'll get the last one next week. But that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you all had a wonderful time. This is a good time, as I need to mention that tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be doing a collab stream. And we're going to be playing some Orcs Must Die, but I'm going to wrap up this episode for you two. This has been your host, Kazar Spell. Hoping to see you in the next video or live stream. And signing out.